All right, well, let's get started. I think we got everything under control now. So, Joan, you wanna kick it off since you weren't around last week? Do you have anything
Uh,
pertinent?
uh, Luckily, I just have more comment kind of things. Adobe Flash Player told me a day or two ago that I needed to update, and I did.
Yeah.
And it left an icon on my desktop that says Adobe Flash Player taller, and it looks like a hard drive, and I'm scared to get rid of it.
Yeah, that's very common. As we go forward, eventually everything that we how should I say, everything that we install in the future will go through the App Store. But right now, not everything is in the App Store. Things like Google's Chrome and Adobe Flash are still not in the App Store yet, and that's a drag because that means we're left over with these steps that we have to follow to do the whole process. One of which is to eject the installer after we're done. So you will see that it's dropped a little icon on your desktop, just like I've got some
Yes.
hard drives here. All you've got to do after you've installed that, usually if you double click on that, it will open up and it'll show a little icon that says something like drag into the applications folder or installer, and you've already done that. So since you've done that and you're all finished, the next thing to do is really just take this guy and drag it to the trash or right click and choose to eject it. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. You'll see that left over with
Okay. It's a goner, but the minute it looks like a hard drive, it gets me a little uptight.
yeah. Like I said, Google's Chrome will do that. Flash will do it. There are lots of little pieces of software that will do that. Microsoft
Mm.
Office, if you download the DMG file off the internet. What else you got?
Um, this is just a comment. I don't know if it's true or not, but my iPad, I get up very early in the morning to play back games, and
Yeah.
I also go to bed very early. And when I get up early and the iPad is cold, it takes two or three times of my fingers sliding to open it.
Yeah.
Is that because it's cold?
I don't think it has anything to do with temperature. It's probably not loaded certain aspects of the operating system into RAM yet. So,
Mm-hmm.
of course, it's always a good idea to force restart those things every once in a while. And if you're having major problems, of course, what Apple's going to do is to tell you to restore it. And that's not a bad thing to do the restore from time to time.
Right. No, this is so minor. It just used to open with one slide, and now I get up and it's cold, and I have to slide like two, three times. And the stylus, it doesn't want to open, but it's very minor. And my very last thing, and then I'll probably be out of here.
Yeah.
And I read this is sort of common with Mountain Lion. Every once in a while, I put my computer to sleep during the day, and I use my other computers. And when I go to wake it up, I really have to shake it and wake it.
Uh, do you mean which computer are you talking about?
I'm talking about my major iMac desktop.
Okay, so when you say shake it and wake it, do you just mean you have to hit several keys before it'll open, before it wakes up?
Yes, and I have to rub my mouse on whatever I'm wearing to get that to wake up.
Okay.
And I read, I don't know if it's true or not, but I read that a lot of people have this problem with Mountain Lion. It eventually wakes up. If not, I have to just tap the button in the back.
Hmm. Well, there's a wake from sleep preference list file, and I'm going to go kind of deep into the bowels and see if I can find it. Since waking from sleep is not specific to the user, it's more of a global setting. You would look into your library. So I'm going to go into my iMac's hard drive, and I'm going to look at library, and I'm going to go down to a folder called preferences, and you guys have seen me do this several times. I go into preferences. Now, in this preferences file, I've got some things that I can dig around and look for. The main folder that I'm looking.
Scotty, I'm not seeing your screen.
You're
I
not?
don't know why.
Daryl, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so you must have something hidden, something hiding the screen right now, Joan. Maybe close Safari. Maybe Safari is taking it right now.
When I close Safari, I lose you usually.
Well, then hit the yellow button to minimize that, because this is an application. We're in GoToMeeting, so if you close Safari, we shouldn't have any. That shouldn't be relevant to whether or not you stay in the meeting. So just hit the yellow button and see if you can find us.
I did, and I'm just seeing my screen top. Okay, just got it.
Okay.
I got it, and I see you.
Okay, so I've opened up a Finder window, and the way that I did that was by going to the little Picasso happy face, and I'm going to just do it again. So let's see, here's a Finder window here. And I'm going to go to my hard drive on the right-hand side, or the left-hand side. I'm going to spread this out so I can see a little bit more. I'm going to go into the library folder, not my user's library folder, but the global computers library folder. Now I'm going to go down to a folder called Preferences. And in that folder, there is another folder called System Configuration, and it's all the way at the bottom. There it is right there. And like I've said before, I'm recording this. In here, there is a little preference file that may have something to do with your problem, and it's certainly not a bad thing to do this. In here, there are several little folders, several little files, I should say, one of which is Power Management, and another one is Preferences. So if I hold the Command key down, I can select a couple of these, and I'm going to also hold down the boot and the original boot plist file. If I take those and I throw those away, the next time I've got to put my computer's password in. The next time I restart my computer, those files will be rebuilt. And sometimes those wake from sleep preferences are what's gone bad. If that doesn't fix it, here's another issue, another way you can solve it, or possibly solve it. Go into your System Preferences folder, or System Preferences application. Go to where you have to go to where you actually affect how it wakes from sleep or how long it takes to sleep, and I believe that's going to be in Desktop and Screensaver. Let's see, Screensaver, you look at that, just go in and change how long it takes before the desktop it goes to sleep here. So you make a change there, and I'll tell you why in just a second. You might also go into your security and privacy settings and make a change here to require a password or not require a password. And what you're doing is, oh, and then there's one more, how soon before it goes to sleep. Where is that, guys? Is it in Displays? Or no, it's in Energy Saver. In Energy Saver. If you go into Energy Saver and you can just change this before the computer goes to sleep and how long, what you're doing is rewriting that wake from sleep plist file, I believe. And so you're making a change to that. And if that plist file is kind of stuck and it's not really behaving the right way, when you adjust these changes and maybe do a restart, that plist file has to be rewritten. And if it is rewritten, maybe it's rewritten in a healthier manner and it reacts a little bit better. So you can try that.
What is a plist? You talk about it every week, and I honestly don't know what it is.
A preference list is what it is, a preference. So I'll give you an example of one right now. I'm going to open up Safari. And here's Safari. Notice that Safari opened with kind of 4 inches down and several inches across. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to change the size of my Safari page. What I've just done is changed the preferences the way that I like this computer or this particular program to behave. So I'm going to quit Safari and I'm going to open Safari again. Now this time when I open Safari, it should open back into that small little square that I had, and there it is. All right, so I've changed the preferences to a certain program, the way I like a program to behave. Now I'm going to quit Safari. And I'm going to go under the word Go, and I'm going to hold down the Option key so it shows me my library. And you ask the question, and it's a little bit of a geeky answer, but in your own library, not to be mistaken with the computer's library that we were talking about a moment ago, we go find the Preferences folder. And now, if you ever have a program that's misbehaving, with the exception of Mail, you have a program that's kind of not doing what you want it to do, you can find the preference or plist file that's associated to it. So I'm going to go find Safari, com.apple.safari, and I'm going to look around until I get to the S's, com.apple.safari. There it is. Now let's say Safari was having a problem. Let's say Safari was crashing, or every time I was loading a page something was going wrong. This is the first thing I want to do. I want to take that plist file and throw it away. Now that I've just thrown it away, you remember when I used to open up Safari and it opened it up into a little corner of my screen as a square? Well, I have thrown that file away, that plist file that told it to do that. And now the next time I open Safari, it has to rewrite that file in a healthy manner. So I'm going to go to Safari, and this time that I open it, let's see what happens. It opens it up in the default way, the way that it does it when you get your computer for the very first time. You see it's up here, and it's my home page is gone. I've got to put my new home page back in again. So it changed. It didn't throw my bookmarks away, but it really kind of just cleaned out Safari just a little bit to make it healthy again, and hopefully it'll run a little bit more healthy than it did in the past. Does that kind of make sense?
Sort of.
Yeah. So if you're ever having a problem, let's say if iPhoto is crashing all the time, you open up iPhoto and it's crashing. You open up iPhoto and it's crashing. The first thing you want to do is go to the plist file that's associated with iPhoto and throw it away. So you hold down the option, or you hit go in the menu, in the top Finder menu bar, hold down the option key and it gives you that little secret door to your library. Go into library, and I'm just going through this again. You find the preferences folder, and then all of these files are associated to different programs. And a good rule of thumb is you can throw away any of these programs to try to make a program healthy, with the exception of Mail. I don't like to throw Mail away. As a matter of fact, it might already be out of here too. I think they've rearranged this, and I don't know enough about how they've done it in 10.8 to address it really. But these these files here can be the problems of problematic applications. All right.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Joan, what have you? Daryl, what have you got?
I got two things. I got a stuck email, and I want to know how to set up Find My Mac.
Okay, let's talk about Find My Mac first. Find My Mac will work. Well, let's just go over to it. So in your settings, a couple of things. In System Preferences, within iCloud, there's an ability to Find My Mac. So you go in your iCloud settings, and at the very bottom of your iCloud settings, you have a setting over here called Back to My Mac. And then there's one called Find My Mac. Find My Mac works that if you turn that on, you can do it on your, it's the same that it works on your phone over here. So if you go into your settings, and I know that you probably know most of this anyway, go into your iCloud settings. At the very bottom, there's a Find My Phone. So what Find My Mac means is if you turn that on and I come over and I steal your computer, then I walk away with it, put it in my car, and I run away. Now, if it's turned off and you go to iCloud.com and you log into iCloud.com, you're not going to be able to see your computer. But if I go home and I plug your computer up to the internet and I turn it on, let me log in here so we can kind of take a look at it. Once I turn it on and I don't erase it and I just turn it on, your computer's IP address gets logged. And when your computer's IP address is logged, that is the little footprint that iCloud needs to find out where your devices are. Where your computer is, that is. So there is no GPS chip in your Mac. It's all done by an IP address. Can you still hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So there, once you go to iCloud.com, you click on your devices. It will show you all the devices you have, and you can locate where those things are. And that's how you do it.
Okay. So you do the same thing with your MacBook Pro?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And remember, it's not going to help you unless the person that's taken it has opened it up and gotten on the internet. Now, if they erase the hard drive before they do that, which would be the smart thing for a thief to do, then it's not going to help you at all.
Okay, so you recommend leaving that on or off?
Sure, leave it on. Yeah, unless you have some privacy issues unless one has privacy issues within their own family, maybe they don't want certain members of their family to see where they are. Other than that, in other words, a person that has access to that iCloud account, but other than that, it's totally fine. There's nothing detrimental to it at all. Yeah, turn it on. That way, just in case a dumb criminal opens it up, you could see where it is. It's a lot more convenient with iOS devices than it is Macs and MacBook Pros. Somebody steals your iPhone, they're driving down the road, you can go to iCloud.com and you can actually see it moving down the road. But if somebody steals your MacBook Pro, you're not going to see it appear in that map until they open it back up and they just start using it. All right?
Okay.
All right, and now you had another question. We talked about Find My Mac. Go ahead.
I have an email, I have a pseudo email address called P.O. Box.
Okay.
And I've got different front ends of that. One of them is Daryl at POBox.com.
Okay.
And I got an email for Daryl at POBox.com, and it won't progress down the date time list. It stays right on top of my email.
Do you have a date for that? Is there a date on that email?
April 11th, yep.
Okay, all right. So it's not like a crazy 1969 kind of date.
No, you want to see it?
Yeah, let's jump over and take a look at that. I've got some wireless network issues that look like just popped up on my network. So if I lose my connection with you guys, I apologize. All right, can you show us that email that you're looking at?
Yeah. This top one.
Okay. Sort by date, and it's still hanging out there. Isn't that interesting? Let's try, go to sort by date and sort by something else. Anything other than date. Interesting. From, sure. All right. And that's still at the top. Okay, quit your mail and restart your mail again, and then let's go back to sorting by date. Okay. And scroll, obviously scroll back up to the top. Interesting. Interesting. Hopefully I think we got it. I like those colors. It's awesome. Okay, yeah, click on the iZod 40% off at the very top, which is the last thing you just got. Okay, survey says, now let's go to sort by date. Let's go back up to the top. Yeah, and select that, sort by.
It's gone.
And let's go back to date, and let's choose, okay, quit mail and restart mail and just see if that took care of it.
It is, it's gone.
Okay, let's just quit and restart just to make sure, even though it was in that list, because what it didn't do is it didn't keep the setting of sorting by whatever, 2 or whatever it was, so that was kind of weird.
I changed it back.
Oh, you did?
I was ahead of you. Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. So go back to mail. All right.
We can go back to here. Where was I? Did it from?
All right, I think we're in business. I think you're back.
So what happened to it?
It went back into the level where it was at. So if you go back to sort by date and you find the one that was from like Charlotte Motor Speedway or whatever, if you scroll down, you're going to see it in your list. It just moved down to where it should be, which was from the around the 11th or whatever. So it's still there.
Yeah, I guess I just don't see it.
Yeah, I promise it's there. Scroll out of there. Clear out the search field and just scroll down to, I think it was the 11th you said you got it on, so scroll down to the 11th. So this is all today's stuff, and there you go, and you're in the 18th. Well, you know better than me. Go around to the 11th or so and see if you find it. And what we've done here, this is another great example, Joan, of what a plist file is. When he made a change to that and then he quit mail, it overwrote the plist file. And you finding it?
There it is.
Yeah. And so when you overwrote that plist file by making a change, you quit mail and you restarted it again, hopefully it knocked some sense into that plist file, and it looks like we're back in business.
Okay.
All right. You guys got anything else for me this evening that you can think of?
You're coming Thursday to help me with my web?
Yeah, I've got that on the calendar. Thank you.
All right.
You guys got anything else?
Nope.
All right.
Nothing
Well,
that I can think of.
all right. Well,
Those were my two things tonight.
excellent. Well, hopefully we got pretty much everything solved. All right. Well, if you guys have nothing else, I will let you go, and we'll have a short town hall this evening.
Thank you very much, Scotty.
All right.
Good night,
We'll see you.
Daryl.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
The organizer has ended the session.